All right. Well, we will try our new format, which actually this isn't our new format. This is just the way we do digital heavyweights all the time, but we will be moving forward. We'll be doing this for AICI. So that's kind of fun. All right. So let's do this. Let me tell you what we're going to talk about, and then we'll go talk about it. We are going to talk about, there's some cool AI stuff happening. So we'll talk about that when we get back. That's some pretty cool stuff. We will talk about hypercycle being 5 days away. We will look at markets. I probably won't bang the gong on all of the absolute BS, scammy, backdoor garbage that happened with JP Morgan somehow winning the bid to take First Republic. And it's weird that the FDIC is losing $13 billion. I mean, sorry, we are as taxpayers. We are getting beat up for $13 billion. And yet JP Morgan Chase gets $2 billion immediately, a win, and $500 million a year as a result of this very fair, open bidding process that somehow allowed them. Oh, by the way, do you know that what they did is technically illegal, but they got an exemption? JP Morgan got an exemption. No bank in the United States is allowed to have 10% of the market. But luckily, the people at JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon and company, are such good people, such wonderful folks, that they are allowed to break the rule, and an exemption was made. Whew. I'm glad, because I thought, there would be some actual open bidding process where people would participate. What a freaking dumpster fire. And you got, exemptions are awesome. But no, everything's fine. There's nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Yeah, if you own First Republic stock or equity or if you owned anything in the capital stack, you got obliterated. But JP Morgan made money, so that's good. Whew. Whew. Oh man. There is some really cool AI stuff. We'll talk about that. Again, hypercycle 5 days away. Yeah, man. So we'll get to it right after our non-commercial intro. Okay, before we get to the AI news, which there is quite a lot of it, we're going to, a pretty big name. Well, he's a big name in AI. He bailed out of Google, and he's going to devote his life to making the world safer with AI. Now, not ageist, but even in the AI space, some people get it way wrong. And by the way, let me just say hello, Audrey, Stephen, Matt, Dubai Money, Debbie, El Paul, Shante. Hello to all of you. Hello. AI, we talked a little bit about fMRI, functional MRI machines, reading thoughts. And everybody's like, that's crazy. That's like Minority Report crazy. Nope, they're doing it right now. They're doing it right now. And they're testing it at the University of Texas. Kind of cool. So I'll tell you about that. IBM is replacing 7,800 jobs with AI. But no. My job is safe, everyone. I'm fine. What I do is so unique. That's what all these people are telling themselves. No human will ever take my job. What I do is so unique. I'm special. I'll never be replaced. Okay. Well, AI don't care. AI is the honey badger. And apparently IBM doesn't care. And so they're like, yep, these jobs are going away. They say over the next 5 years. It's probably over the next 5 months. And we're about to hit, oh my God, there's going to be some ugly unemployment numbers. I hope you guys understand what deflation looks like. You don't. Weird. I got a weird like feedbacky thing. Hold on. Sometimes I get like a little shock in the electricity and everything gets wonky. Anyway, all right. So let's go through markets for a second. Let's talk markets. Dave, what's going on? Okay. Let me see. If you do everything yourself, shouldn't us paying members just send you a check? Hey, you know what? You give it to the universe, man. You give it to the universe, and the universe gives it back in spades, I would hope. Okay. What's going on? Let's look at the markets, but let's just be honest about it. Everything pivots off of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin pretty much pivots off of the macro right now. So when you see Bitcoin banging around on a Sunday night, you know that it's the result of low liquidity. This just reminded me of something. This is a good segue. I want to show you guys something. I hadn't planned on talking about it, but it probably seems apropos. Coinbase in its continual battling with the SEC. Basically, Coinbase, when the SEC served Coinbase a Wells notice, Coinbase was like, we don't agree, and we don't think you have jurisdiction, and we're suing you back. So so Coinbase is suing the SEC to prove what they claim. This is kind of interesting. The Gary Gensler at the SEC has not been getting the best treatment from, like legislators, things like that. They basically hate him. He has not been performing well. Now, my contention was he's a smart guy. He got put into his position by certain people that want certain things from him. Most of them are angled towards protecting banks because banks are so good, right? Banks don't ever crash. Your deposits are fine. Everything's fine. Real quick, pop quiz. How much money do you have in a bank that is safe? In any single account, how much money is actually safe? Currency units, I should say. Anyone? Really quickly? Anyone? Anyone nails this? Anyone? That's right. Lance, Amy, Kathy. No. Dave, not 250. It's 25,000. Go take a deep dive into Obamacare. They would have to issue you a $225,000 IOU. It's 25K. Yeah. Just saying. Math, because math. So anyway, Coinbase decided, you know what? We have a new product we'd like to launch. We want to do derivatives. We're going to launch offshore. And they have done it. They've launched, I'll show you that article. It's actually pretty interesting. I was banging through it a little while ago. We'll look at it in just a second. But when you're looking at these markets, I think it's important to always remember, the entire crypto space is mostly illiquid assets on illiquid exchanges being traded by sketchy individuals. If you always keep this in mind and know that there's like 55,000 different assets and only like 18 of them are any good, right? As far as when you really break it down and look at the teams, the timing, the technology, the tokenomic structure, and why the token exists, it's a very, very small group of assets to pilfer through. And yes, dummy assets, Pepe coin and Doge and stupid tokens will go up because there's a lot of stupid gambling people. And when the United States finally admits to each other that we're in a recession and the Fed pivots, which they will do because the yield curve, the near-term forward, and every other curve and data point on earth says they'll do it. They'll do it. And as they pivot, even though they're pivoting because the market is telling them that we're going into a recession, hence the OPEC cutting oil and things like that, oil production, every sign you need to look at is like painfully, absurdly obvious. We're in a deflationary money environment, and that's going to have ramifications. And nothing that happened before COVID has been fixed. The economy's not in a better place. It's not even where it was if you follow trend. I think people just ignore all that. But, oh, and by the way, it's not like there's any banking problems, right? Banks are fine. No banking failures over the last 3 months. Are we going to blame? You see the Fed blamed YouTube. They blamed YouTube and Twitter as part of the reasons why, SVB and those other banks failed. Well, let's be clear. They didn't fail. They were taken over by the FDIC. I guess we'll never know. So, I mean, God. Anyway, it's very clear that every market is saying, where there are monetary inputs, every market that actually looks at monetary inputs is saying we live in a deflationary environment. We're in the throes of a recession, and that's fine. Recessions are healthy. It's just that we need to let bad companies and bad banks go away. That's the way it works. And if we don't do that, we create tremendous amounts of moral hazard and perverse incentives for treachery. And that's where we're at. So the empty suits at the Fed will pivot, and they'll pivot hard. And then people will go, yes, free money, even though it's never been free money because the Fed's not a money dealer. They don't do money, but most people they drank so much Kool-Aid that they believe the Fed prints money, even though that has never, ever happened, ever. QE is neither Q nor E. It's not quantitative, and there's no easing effect. It's actually the opposite. If they're stripping, do the mental math real quick. If you're stripping high quality collateral, short-term high quality collateral, which has the best value in repo, in government, in debt markets, if you're taking the best, highest quality collateral, and by the way, everyone's looking for collateral right now, aren't they? Which is why rates are at the floor, right? So everyone wants collateral. So you strip the market of collateral. So that's easing. That's an easy money environment. Oh, well, we gave them bank reserves. But you can't buy burgers with bank reserves. It's not money. It's a coupon for a small handful of banks. I don't know why this is still missed and why this is so hard for people to wrap their mind around. It's monopoly money. It's fake. It doesn't mean anything. And intermediaries, banks, they're starting to pull back from lending. Why? Oh, we've got we got all these bank reserves. We're good. Bank reserves don't mean anything. That's right. There's no cash equivalent to bank reserve. I can't meet Cisco at a McDonald's and buy him a double cheeseburger with chicken pieces or whatever's the new freaking McDonald's thing with bank reserves. The expectation is that those banks will go and lend, but intermediaries are not stupid. They know when the market sucks. They know when they're not going to get paid back, and so they quit lending. Anyway, these things are all incredibly and crucially important to understanding how the little gears in the watch turns. And I think that so many people overlook this, and they just listen to the discussion at the water cooler or Steve Leisman's, that guy. His head is as large as he is clueless. And he has a large head. I'm not a large head hater. I'm not like large head woke. That guy's got an enormous melon. My guess is you threw a golf ball at him, it would orbit. Just saying. All right. So where does this all, so you say, okay, well, what does that have to do with crypto? Because right now, this anemic market is mostly kind of taking its pace from the greater markets, the equity space, etc. So if we go into a recession and then we have a pivot and then we have fake free money, which people think is free money, and then we eventually have stimulus checks and AI starts removing jobs and all these things happen, then it creates a cascading effect that looks a lot like 2021. So I predict very stupid, very green markets by late this year or spring of next year. What does 282 mean to green market? We've been tracking this for some time, Sue, and statistically, the downward phases and the upward phases. You can't really call it bear and bull markets in crypto because the crypto space is not even really a full market. But the contractionary and the expansionary crypto phases tend to be separated by an aggregate amount of days. And as we're tracking it, it looks like worst case scenario over in the next, and this is just based on averages, and this is backwards facing. So this means very little, but it is a way to wrap your mind around it, is that in the next 282 days, somewhere in there, we are very, very likely to experience another big upward, ridiculous green arrow crypto market for whatever that means. Now, if you've been in the AI space, you've already done good. And yeah, that's a good point. leading to the halving is another factor that tends to bode well for the crypto space. And that, that's something that we'll talk about a lot more. But anyway, so let me just reduce these markets. In these illiquid markets that tend to take their beats from the traditional markets, which is, mostly run by dummies also, but at least, well, I'd say they don't gamble quite as much, but perhaps they gamble way more. I mean, if we talk about derivatives and repo and rehypothecation, we could go down that rabbit hole with Alice for a long time and never come back to anything that looks anything different than whimsy and nonsense. Most people don't know how repo works, and that's probably better so you can sleep at night. Because if you knew that your home loan had been pledged 16 times and was holding up 16 homes worth of equity or derivative money exposure, you probably would not sleep so well. God. Anyway, but when you're looking at these markets, realize that they are very anemic. And when people in the Bitcoin space through leverage get blown up, it does create cascading liquidations. And that's what I think we saw. It started late Saturday, Sunday, and it seems to be plateauing now, is what it looks like. And that's what brings us over to, I think we should talk about it for a second, Coinbase. And why this is interesting, why the Coinbase thing is interesting. Coinbase is in a situation where they're kind of beefing with the SEC. So this kind of happened. Their press release is today. Coinbase launches its international exchange to get out of the SEC's regulatory kind of crosshairs. In a groundbreaking move that has taken the crypto world, I don't know if it's by storm. I don't know if anybody woke up being shooken other than the idiots that I pay rent to for this condo. I almost got into it. God, I almost got into it with two landlords. I almost had to headbutt this guy. Landlords cannot put their hands on you. If they put their hands on you, I think you have the right to headbutt them in the face. I just don't know I'm going to have to look at the rules on that. There was going to be a fair amount of headbutting. Anyway, in a groundbreaking move that's taken the crypto world by storm, the leading cryptocurrency exchange platform has officially launched its international exchange to sidestep mounting regulatory pressures from the US SEC. With this daring, I like how they adjective and verb this thing, with this daring. This is daring. Man, they're just trying not to get sued. It's not daring. They have officially launched their international exchange. It will sidestep the SEC. Coinbase aims to secure financial freedom and expand its reach beyond U.S. borders. Crypto giant Coinbase, here we go, boldly sets sail for Bermuda. Okay, it's a little rich now, this article. Launching a new derivatives exchange amidst a turbulent regulatory climate from back home, dubbed the Coinbase International Exchange, and they have a tweet, and their tweet basically says Coinbase International Exchange is an expansion plan that shows the firm's dedication to break free from domestic regulatory constraints and explore uncharted financial territories, whatever the hell that means. Coinbase launched their international exchange, and it's at Coinbase, INTEXCH, at Coinbase International Exchange. But you can go to at Coinbase, their Twitter account, and click through. Don't click on links. Do not click links. All right. So they will begin offering Bitcoin and Ethereum perpetual futures settled in USDC. Yes, our favorite. With 5x leverage to institutional clients in eligible jurisdictions. Hashtag not in the United States. So it's kind of cool, right? At the onset, Coinbase International Exchange will enable traders to speculate on the ever fluctuating prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, remember, when the speculation starts and they get it wrong, which they always do, then you have unwinds. If you have 5x leverage, you have 5 times the unwind. Let's do some quick math. You have 5x leverage on a position, and that position goes down 20%. What happens to your 5x position? Anyone. So you might get an answer like completely liquidated to zero. Yes, Joe nails it. Gone, face melted, nuked, obliterated, whatever you want to call it, however verbose you want to get. You could even be prosaic. So look, 5x leverage is probably them slowly meting out leverage to compete with Binance's 100x leverage. You want to know why all these a-holes get liquidated? Because they gamble. These dudes gamble. All they do is gamble. And if you're an exchange, it can look a lot like a casino. You know what I like about casinos? They don't go out of business. When's the last time a casino actually, now they may get shut down by the health inspector for mold, for like creepy old octogenarians putting their dentures on the side of a slot machine while they waste away their retirement checks, but they don't go out of business for lack of money. So I think this is great for Coinbase. The launch comes after months of intense scrutiny from the SEC, which has been closely monitoring Coinbase's activities and transactions. As the crypto industry continues to grow and mature, regulatory bodies worldwide have been working tirelessly to implement strict guidelines and policies. Well, I'm glad they have all those strict guidelines and policies. We sure know what we're doing here in the US, do we not? Coinbase's decision to launch its international exchange is a bold statement that indicates the company's desire to resist restrictive regulation and continue its pursuit of innovation and growth. I guess there's a lot of kind of friendship between Coinbase and Bermuda's regulatory environment. Coinbase has successfully won the support of the Bermuda regulators for the launch of their new platform. The Island of Bermuda Monetary Authority, BMA, granted Coinbase a coveted Class F. I got an F in school that people were laughing at me, giving me the dunce cap, and I had to make excuses to my parents. But apparently, a Class F license here in April of 2023 is some badassness. Anyway, this prestigious license empowers the company to operate as a digital asset exchange and digital asset derivatives exchange. I'm curious if Coinbase will open up a full exchange service outside the US. And then, that's kind of cool. I'd almost like to hop around and get one of those accounts. You probably have a lot more dexterity in those bad boys. Rest assured, Coinbase is committed to the US, but countries around the world are increasingly moving forward with responsible crypto-forward regulatory framework to strategically position themselves as crypto hubs. Coinbase said in a blog post, I don't know what the Coinbase voice would be. Would it be? I don't know. They seem kind of nimble and nerdy. We would like to see the US take a similar approach instead of regulation by enforcement, which has led to a disappointing trend for crypto development in the US. I feel like they'd be kind of sketchy like that. I like these guys. I respect Brian Armstrong. I think he's a complete douchebag, but I do respect him. He's built an incredible business. And I can hate people in the same way that I hate the Winklevoss twins. Those are two like really morally corrupt D-bags that have done some great things accidentally in the crypto space, all for the pursuit of their own private pockets. Make no mistake, the Winklevoss don't give a crap about you or anyone else. They want to sell right. You are their exit liquidity, 100%. Understand that. But if you do, the Winklevoss twins are fine. Anyway, that's the Coinbase news. So that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I think perhaps we should talk a little bit about AI. Well, let me go back to markets really quickly, just to kind of sum this up. Was there anything I thought was interesting? Not really. When you look at what's going on, it's all a pivot off of Bitcoin. I'll tell you, there are some things that are looking there. I can't make recommendations, obviously, in a public-facing show. That's more of a heavyweights thing. But if I was looking to do further research, I would probably be doing a lot of Algorand, graph token research. I would probably be doing some Filecoin research. I'd probably be doing some optimism research, definitely some AGIX research. I'd probably be doing some Ocean Protocol under 40 cents. Just research. It's only research, nothing more than research. And some NewNet research as they're rolling out all sorts of cool things like their alpha. So they are, not too far away from something that you could actually utilize. So, to me, man, that's pretty cool. And yeah, Cardano under 40 cents. Also, something I would research. Just research, man. No advice here. No squiggly line, bull smoke. Just some research. All right. Why don't we spend a few minutes talking about the AI? You say, what? The AI? What is he referring to? What's the AI? Well, there is some kind of interesting stuff going on in the AI space. And let me just read you a little bit about what's going on. So we have the godfather of AI quits. What say you? Okay. Jeffrey Hinton, often referred to as the godfather of AI, just quit Google. He's not like one of those rage quit people that said like, I'm quitting. I like these guys that are like, I'm leaving Twitter. What do you want to talk about? No, nothing. Well, I don't know who you are. I don't care that you're leaving Twitter. And if you're going away, go away in silence. Don't make it a big deal. It's like the guy's like, I'm quitting. Quit then. I'm leaving. Yeah, we heard you. Go. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit you. Like, disappear. I'm not kidding. Yeah, we get it. You're not kidding. It's like an ex that breaks up with you again after 2 months. She's like, we're breaking up. Like, we broke up. That was months ago we broke up. Yeah, but now we're really breaking up. We really broke up. Go away. Well, Jeffrey Hinton is breaking up with Google. He wants to warn the world of the dangers ahead. Thanks, Jeffrey, because none of us have seen Terminator. In a recent interview with New York Times, Hinton expressed regret for his decade-long work. Regret? Wow, what a jerk. And shared his concerns about misinformation. He also warned what's going on over there at Google, that he's regretful over his career. That's weird, right? He warned about the long-term threats to humanity once AI starts writing and running its own code. Hey, Jeffrey, this just in, dummy. AI's been writing and running its own code, stupid. These guys, man. This is his quote. Good for Jeffrey. Let me see. What's a Jeffrey voice? The idea that this stuff could actually get smarter than people. A few people believed that. Most people thought it was way off. And I thought it was way off. I thought it was 30 to 50 years or even longer away. Obviously, I no longer think that. Yeah, no smoke, Jeffrey. You think Jeffrey was on the shelf and he's like, nobody's listening to me. I'm out of here. Okay, thanks, Jeff. Mr. Hinton is now dedicating the remainder of his life to ensuring that the technology he helped create does not endanger civilization. Hey, Jeffrey, this just in. That letter from Elon, that was all bullcrap. You know that, right? That's just because he was behind and he wanted governments and everyone else to sing Kumbaya, put the brakes on OpenAI so he could catch up with Truth AI. Because, by the way, not that he gives a crap about society, because he strip mines battery materials all day long, every day, and there's nowhere to put those spent batteries for Teslas. Go on, look it up. He told the people at OpenAI years ago, oh, I think we at Tesla will reach AGI quicker than you because our system is better. He didn't have a moral problem. He just thought he was better. And, oh, wait, he's not. So that was the open letter, Jeffrey. Wake up, bro. All right, let's switch gears. AI makes mind reading possible. What? Yeah, I said it. The new study will literally blow your mind. Researchers at the University of Texas have discovered a GPT-based decoder that can translate thoughts into text using non-invasive fMRI scans, functional MRI that you like put on your head, but it's not like no drills, no needles. Participants trained the decoder by listening to podcasts, probably mine, for 16 hours in an 16 hours in an fMRI scanner. The AI system then generated text as participants listened to images or imagined a new story. Listened to stories, looked at images, or imagined a new story, capturing general thoughts or ideas. The result, 50% of the time, the generated text matched the intended meaning of the original words. I could show you some stuff. There's a bunch of data on this. It is effing haunting. And that, my last little bit for today, and then we will probably go deep into all of this stuff in the heavyweights. IBM plans to replace 7,800 jobs with AI following Dropbox's move to lay off 500 employees and then replace them with AI. IBM now plans to replace, let's call it 7,800 jobs with AI technology, and they are going to pause hiring for jobs that could potentially be automated. IBM CEO, you think they're the only one? Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. IBM CEO Arvind Krishna stated that most back-end office positions, such as, HR, accounting, legal, they will be replaced. He noted, I could easily see 30% of that getting replaced by AI and automation over a 5-year period. Well, if I read this correctly, they done already been replaced. Because if he's no longer hiring, and again, these are just the companies that are public, that are being obvious about it. Come on, people. Wake up and smell the obsolescence. If you are an individual and you take existing data and you manipulate that data and you give that data to someone else, you are already unemployed. That is it. That is all. You need to think about this stuff. The world is going to change. It's already changing very fast. Anyway, stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything my poor, insolvent, drunk, strung out on meth grandmother wouldn't do, or any of the digital heavyweights, or any of the AICI, or any of you just in interland. Hypercycle, by the way, 5 days away. Very exciting. Good stuff. We will see you soon. See you tomorrow for heavyweights, and everybody else will see you Thursday.